Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk Hair. I'm your host, Robin with the V.
I'm Del Harrison, and I'm telling you, we are gonna blast you away one day. Sing that song.
Let's talk
Hair.
Let's talk hair. But for now, we're talking braids and beauty.
Yes.
And everything in between. I know I am an avid braider or braid wearer.
And you look good in it too. I love when I see you like with braids. You know, Robin will rock out the faux locks. Like I'm talking about, she actually, you know.
I think that's my version of wet it and go. You know, my wet and go.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to do anything. I can jump in the water. But I'm so in love with these goddess locks. Take a lot of time. There's a lot of love and labor that goes into this hairstyle.
And I love the way you have the accessories.
Yes,
you know, like
the hair jewelry.
Yeah.
The hair jewelry.
I think it stands out. She's got a little hair bling bling. Also, what I really love about braids too is they're very sensual because they give you a lot of length. You know, like every time I see somebody with braids, it's like way down their back. You know, you can get them as long as you
it's
want.
extra sassiness.
Yeah.
You know, if you need to do a little hair flip, you know, you could injure someone depending on how close they are, how big your braids are, and how
Especially
long
if you
they
got the
are.
beads, you know.
And if you have the beads or any hair trinkets, because I really love the jewels. My husband calls them Pirates of the Caribbean jewels, but
Yeah.
those are dangerous too. But it's just luscious, sassy, a lot of neck movements. That's my thing.
Yeah, you know, straight hair, you can't have any hair jewelry. You know what I mean? You just,
you
I mean,
can't.
you got a hairband, but that's not like faux lock, you know, with a
It won't stay
little
in.
something, you know, on there. So
I really am enjoying you speak so nicely of braids. I just will say that.
yeah,
Because I know you are not a braid wearer.
I'm not. You know, really what it is I'm an only child. So only children don't sit a long time. You know, when I think about braids, I think about 10 hours in
Yes,
one spot. I don't even go to the
absolutely.
movies because the movies is just too long.
It
you know?
definitely takes long, especially when you think of someone who's going into surgery. Did you hear about that story in North Carolina of a woman who woke up after a surgery procedure and her hair was braided? And she assumed that maybe the nurses had done it, and later after her post-op visit, which is normally like 2 to 6 weeks later, she found out her doctor was the actual
Did the
one who did.
braids?
Yes, Dr. Jewel, African-American male, mind you, not a woman, a man braided her hair for her. Dr. Jewel Graywood, and she didn't find out until her follow-up visit. She assumed it was the nurses that had done it. So that's amazing, and we need more surgeons and doctors like you.
Now, see, that's good customer service right there. You know what I'm saying? You don't just, you're not just getting surgery. You're getting straight braids.
Yes, celebrity braids.
You know, and celebrity braids, like, you know, because a lot of celebrities are rocking braids, you know, these days. I watched Beyonce's documentary when she was pregnant, and she had her hair braided.
Yes.
And
Gabrielle Union, she loves to get
Alicia
a nice
Keys
little braids.
has braids.
She was known for her braids too when she first came out. So
Yeah.
that was something really unique, is that all she did was wear her braids. Almost reminds me of Brandy back in the day
Yes.
too.
Oh
She
my
used to
God.
rock the
Brandy
braids.
was the braid queen back in the day.
Absolutely.
Always rocking the fly braids. Like,
And there's just so many people rocking braids. It's crazy.
and that's what we're going to be talking more about.
Yes.
When we come back, we're going to be talking about the science of getting your hair braided. On this episode, we actually have a braiding salon owner, LaSharett Wilkerson, and Hype Hair digital media editor, Stephenetta Harmon, here with us right here on Let's Talk Hair.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Back to Let's Talk Hair. I'm Del Harrison.
And I'm Robin with the V.
And I am so excited to be talking to two very successful women, very successful Black business owners. We have LaSharett of Studio Luxe by La with us, and we have Stephenetta Harmon, digital media director over at Hype Hair magazine and founder of Sadaya Black Beauty Guide. Welcome, ladies.
Yes. Hello, ladies.
How are you
Thank
guys?
you.
Hi. Good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
We're better now that we have you guys aboard. We need, you know, the experts because we've got a lot to discuss.
Right, because Robin, you were just mentioning something about braids licensing.
Yeah,
you know.
braids and state issued licensing seems to be a thing. It's a trending topic. Do you guys have a specific take either here for it or not, because there's a lot of them that aren't, right? We get our hair braided sometimes in people's bedrooms, kitchens, and a lot of times you get what you pay for, or you pay more for it because they need extra protection, because it's in their home. Can you guys speak a little bit towards that?
Well, as you said, that requirements they vary from state to state. Now, I live in Georgia, so as a braider, the requirements are a little bit more relaxed for us. I feel as though the requirements should be a little bit more relaxed nationwide because they don't actually teach braiders, well, hairstylists, how to braid in school.
Right.
When I started, I was doing hair in my home, but as I said, I wanted to take my business a little bit more professional. And like you said, sometimes you get what you pay for. So, it's kind of hard to get people to respect your business when you're braiding hair out your home. So that's why, I did acquire a business license. But like I said, in the state of Georgia, we're not required to have any type of cosmetology license.
I like it. I like it that it is relaxed. But when I think about licensing for braiders, like, because I lived in New York, where you get off the train and on Harlem 125, and it's like hair braid, hair braid, hair braid, hair braid, hair braid. Everybody is trying to. There's 100 women who specialize in braiding, and they're right there on the train, and they're just like, "Ma'am, you hair braid." And I respect them also too, because these women are business women as well, even though they may not be licensed. But where I'm torn is the fact that a lot of times you see women with braids and the edges are out, so it's like you're getting the bomb styles and you're looking good, but then your hairline is receding. So I do feel like I want to have more of that training when for all women who are getting braids, because I don't want to see you having receding hairline, because now you got to go from the braids to wigs, you're bald, and I feel like as a braiding salon, you definitely have to do those things to maintain the hair even after the braids are taken out. Stephenetta, please jump in there.
There's a lot to unpack in this one.
Right.
I can go back for the fact I grew up braiding hair, so I totally get the kitchen beautician situation. I also have been one of those folks to get my hair braided on 125th from back in the day. Yes. See me like, I don't know why you calling me out like this, but yes, you need to braid my hair. And also understanding what we have about 26 states that have relaxed the braiding regulations. I know Institute for Justice has been real big about going to court for, I don't know what their primary reasons for it are, but they've been really big about going for that to help relax that, so that people don't have to get 500, 1,000 hours worth of cosmetology to braid hair. No, it's not in the Bible books, the cosmetology Bibles, in terms of how you braid hair. But we do need some sort of standardized, I believe this, let me say this, I believe that we need standardized regulations. We're talking bloodborne pathogens when you're sewing hair into somebody. When you're doing those extensions, if you poke them, then there's blood. We don't talk about that. That's like the transference, because you're no longer in your house where you know everybody. You're doing a stranger, and then you might go do another stranger. They got the combs. I used to bring my own combs, my own grease, my own scissors, my own hair, because I soak my hair, wash it beforehand. And they would look at me and I'm like, well, where's your barbicide?
Right.
If I'm at a barbershop, they have barbicide where they stick it in. But that's not a discussion that we're having because it's not regulated in that way. So I get that you don't need to teach me the art of braiding, because you can't teach me the art of braiding. I watch those videos. That's not how we braid. But I do need a place that tells me, how do I keep my place sanitized? What do I do on someone's scalp so I can refer them to a dermatologist? That's super important for braiding. No, I'm not. Even a licensed cosmetologist is not going to treat your scalp issue if you have seborrheic dermatitis, if you have a receding hairline from traction alopecia. But they can see it, and they need to know how to identify it and send you and refer you to the place that can do it. Do you know what I mean? So for me, it's like, I get it.
That is such a good point that you bring up.
For me, it's
especially when you are talking about some of our stylists now that want you to send them $50 just to book an appointment, and you may not get that back. They're booked up so long, and then the salon experience as a whole, it's different across the board now. A lot of times you need to come with your hair washed and blow dried, and you don't get the full experience of being, prepped before.
But legally, you have to come washed and blow dried if you're going to a braider who doesn't have a cosmetology license. You can't wash hair. You can't apply chemicals.
Yes.
You can't apply product outside of grease for the scalp.
See, I didn't
so
know
that's
that.
something. So you can't be mad at the braider for not giving you that experience. You just want to get your braids done.
That's the real
Before
question.
we go on, Stephenetta, I was listening to you talk, and I was like, you know what? It sounds like you've been quarantining long before we've been quarantining with your hairs, bringing your combs, sterilizing.
Yes.
Listen, we got more to talk about. When we come back, we're going to be discussing it more with Stephenetta Harmon and LaSharett Wilkerson. So stay tuned and let's talk hair.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hair. We've got Stephenetta Harmon and LaSharett Wilkerson online with us. Thank you, ladies, for being with us again. So I do have a question. We were talking about how things have changed, the experience, the salon experience, or even if you're going to someone's house when you're getting your hair braided, and the fact that a lot of times they want you to come with your hair washed and blow dried.
It's a requirement for my salon
Okay.
because, like I said before, in Georgia, we're not required to have a cosmetology license.
Right. Okay.
So I don't have the proper license to, know the right heat temperatures to press someone's hair out, or, wash their hair, condition, and know the right products or whatever to tell them that they need to use on their hair.
Okay. And then
And that's 26 states
Yeah,
26 states that don't require it or do, Stephenetta?
that do not require, I
That
think it's
don't
26 now, that do not require any sort of cosmetology license.
okay, what about personally though? If someone comes in and they have 4C hair, are you requiring them to do extra straightening before they get their hair braided?
Yes, it is a requirement, but sometimes I do have clients that come in without their hair prepped. So what I usually do, since I've been braiding so long, it really isn't an issue. It just takes a little longer. And with my scheduling, I have certain times blocked off. So I kind of like to, keep everybody on the same scheduled time. But like I said, it isn't a problem because, I know the proper tucking methods to make sure, to stretch their hair out and make sure their hair is tucked inside the braid nicely.
You know what? I'm so glad we talked about this because I was joking about like judging the salons that make you come in with your hair already washed. But you know what? That just lets me know that it's not all on the braiders, like when your edges are falling out, because if people are doing their own hair
Right.
before they come in, we don't know what products they're using. We don't know what, how much heat they're putting on their hair.
Yet the
So-
expectation of you as a stylist to make voodoo magic work is still there
Yeah, I
always,
mean,
unfortunately. That's a big pressure.
And braiding, I find that braiding, and LaSharett, please jump in and let me know. Because I find that a lot of braids are like drying, your hair doesn't maintain a lot of moisture when you have braids. Like, am I wrong for saying that, or is that a true statement?
No, absolutely not. That's why I inform my clients to make sure they keep their hair moisturized and some type of oil or leave-in conditioner from time to time to make sure that their braids are not drying their hair out.
And honestly, it's easier to oil your hair when it's braided because it's already sectioned out. Literally, you're just picking up
Yes.
section by section sprays. That's the best way for me. I've been in braids since I was, I don't know, 3 or 4, where I had the beads and
Yes.
the cornrows and added hair. Even as a child, and I think that's why my forehead is big now, but that's a whole nother story. Probably got receded, pushed back a
Your
little bit.
forehead is not big,
I think it's from
Robin.
the braids at a young age.
Robin
but-
has been programmed to think she has a big forehead.
Yes.
Because maybe
you
she
don't
hasn't
see,
seen
y'all
any
don't
big
see
foreheads.
it. You don't see it because obviously it's covered. But I think that's something that is always easier to manage, is keeping your hair moisturized when it's braided, as long as that scalp is out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think as adults, we have to relearn how to protect our hair from our protective styles.
Yes.
When we're younger and we get our hair
that's
braided,
such a
Yes.
good
our
point.
parents, our
I
mother,
mean,
our aunties, they are in our hair weekly. They are, making sure that we're maintaining
No,
it.
seriously,
We had
I've had to learn
regimens
that.
growing up. You
We
know what
got
I mean?
spoiled. We got spoiled with it.
We
Yeah.
had regimens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had regimens growing up. And then we get adults, and then it's like, has it been 2 weeks? When the last time you washed your hair?
Yeah.
How much responsibility do you give the stylist versus the customer when it comes to making sure their edges are not pulled too tight? Or, I mean, do you think it's something that like, oh, let me just set aside some edges, let me just pull them out so she doesn't grab them? Or is that a responsibility that you put on the stylist and like, you're looking a little thin over here, I'm gonna leave these alone? Like, how do you feel about that? Anyone can jump on this.
Well, as a professional braider, I think that you should know the proper techniques to ensure that your client's hair is not pulling on the edges. I do a method that I call the tuck away, and which is, I don't know if y'all seen like some of the box braids, they have them right there on the edges. That is totally going to take your edges out. So what I do is I use some type of product, whether it's edge control or gel, whatever I'm using to braid the hair. And I just kind of slick their edges back into the braid. So it's not starting like right there
like a
on the
little
edge.
swoop.
And,
Like a little
making sure you're, making sure you're kind of sectioning it off pretty big, because you don't want that heavy braid on just, like a small
little
section of
tiny
the
I
piece
hair.
of
can't
hair.
tell you how many times I
Yeah.
have had a heavy braid or a heavy
Yeah.
goddess lock. Lord, that's even worse.
And
The tension.
Oh,
That's
goddess
a
locks
braid
are
on
the
top
worst.
of another, braid, basically, as far as weight goes. And my
Yes.
edges said bye-bye.
Yes.
yeah, and I just can't tell you how many times I've seen
We gotta
one
protect
braid
those
on the
edges.
ground as I'm walking. I'm like, that dropped off of somebody's edges right there.
That's usually the back, those little back.
Tip out a little looking for it.
we
I
are,
think it's both though.
Yes, okay. You think it's both half and
It's
half?
not, I mean, yeah, because the braider is braiding your hair and it may not look tight because like my scalp moves, so you will know automatically that a braid is pulling. Some
Right.
people's scalps don't move, so it may be tight and you can't tell. So you have to be okay with your braider and because I'm a queen of this while I'm getting my hair
Yes.
braided.
Yes.
I will hold this
Yeah, hold
down
it.
Yes,
so I can still
yes.
breathe
I have
tomorrow.
all around the edges.
Um,
I pinch
when
mine.
you just hold it,
No.
and there's a middle ground, because we know that where it's too tight where your scalp is pulling, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then we know where it's too loose, but there's this
Yes.
middle ground where it's almost too tight. Well, that's where you actually lose your follicles.
Yes,
Because it's a
those
slow
white,
pull.
oh my God,
Yeah.
the white
Versus the-
caps.
And, or
Yeah.
y'all can just do what I do I just complain the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I just be like, what are you doing? Are you short? Do you know? I'm talking about, I just make it the most stressful experience.
But then how much of it is the braider as far, you have heavy hand braiders, you have people that braid exceptionally just tight by nature, I guess you can say, and then you have some that are more relaxed. And then you have a customer that may be
You
a
gotta
little more
tell your
timid.
braider.
You might have a customer that's a little timid
Featherheaded,
and
yeah.
doesn't want to even say anything, or they don't realize it until they get home, and then they have to take a Tylenol or a Motrin later. Like, how do you bring that up to your braider after the fact, as opposed to just being like, I'm not gonna go back?
I personally, I ask my clients over and over, are you experiencing any pain? Are you okay? I expect for my clients to speak up,
Communication.
because I just want to make sure, they're happy with their experience.
Yeah. And Stephenetta, you have a very different journey because you have actually been at a major brand, Hype Hair, being a major contributor for Black beauty content. And now to go from such a major brand to now you leveraging those relationships to now founding your own Black beauty guys, Sadaya. How has that been? Has it been well received, or, tell us about that more.
Well, Sadaya, I soft launched it 2018, where it was just like a vision of, I got tired of looking for Black owned brands when we got choked out, got disrespected, or whatever it was that happened at a beauty supply store, a salon, whatever it was. And you would go online and see, 12 Black owned this, 12 this, and 15 this. And we had all these listicles, but no way to put them together. And so as a journalist, I was like, okay, I need a place that I can be able just to go on, okay, I'm looking for this, and be able to find us. And it didn't exist at the time. So I created it.
And you did that, because honestly, that is
Thank
one
you.
thing that you really put a nail on. It's we're under represented and we're undervalued all in the same aspect. So who's going to take better care of us than ourselves? So thank you for that.
And underfunded.
And underfunded.
And
Let's not
underfunded.
forget that.
Well, LaSharett, you are a founder of Lux by La.
Ooh la la, I must say.
I'm talking about, I mean, can we
Yes.
keep this hair? Because it's looking good. I want to just feel it and see
Sure.
what
Oh my
this
gosh. I need
hair
some pink
is
in my
like.
hair.
I specifically, guys, for the viewers out there, I specifically didn't want to feel this. I wanted you to let me feel this while I was on camera, while you were watching it. Me and Robin
it can be
both.
totally
so
authentic.
It can be, yes.
This is not.
Oh, but it's,
Ooh.
okay. It
So you
is-
braid with this one.
Oh.
Now, you know
Yes.
what? It
I don't
is-
use any other hair on my clients.
This feels like very nice black girl hair. You know what I mean? Like when I
Yes.
blow dry my hair, okay, and I
Like a
just leave
blowout,
it
mhm.
like with untouched. This is how my hair feels. It feels very nice, like a good hair of, thick black hair. I mean, I'm very
Like
impressed.
that old school yak?
Yes,
Yaki.
like
That's
I
what I'm
mean,
thinking. Yaki.
Okay, and I'm glad Robin can
Yaki.
compare it with a brand, because I'm just like, I don't know what to compare it to, except for like human hair. Is it human hair?
No, this
No,
this
it's
is
not human hair.
synthetic
It's
hair.
synthetic.
This is the best synthetic hair I've ever felt, because synthetic hair is the one night stands of hair. Did y'all know that? you put in synthetic hair, you'd be like, I'll think about calling you in the morning, but it might not happen. You know what I'm saying? So
So tell us a little bit about the hair.
Yes, well, when I came up with the idea of creating a braiding hair, it was because, there are so many different brands on the market, and it was just so difficult. It's too shiny, because you have some synthetic fibers that look so unreal and not like our hair. So this is non-toxic, it's itch-free, it's antibacterial. As you can see, it's pre-stretched, it's ready to braid, and I'm very happy with it.
And you have to take care of your hands as a stylist as well. That's your bread and
Yes.
butter. So you can't
Yes.
braid with hair that's, dangerous for your fingers.
And I love the colors.
Tangling.
I love the
Yes.
colors, LaSharett. Guys, I want to thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for joining. I got to quote Stephenetta Harmon. She said, when
Yes.
2 or 3 black women are gathered, we're
We
going to talk
talk
about
hair,
hair.
honey.
So
Yes.
thank you so much, LaSharett and Stephenetta, for coming on.